course, we be really making plays. She don't really want no beef if she can't say it to my face. Girl, that man was never mine, I just was going through a phase. So please control your hoe before I put her in her place. Who you think you is, babe? I'm who they wanna be. Got that apple bottom falling out my jeans like it's a trick. Diamonds yellow, bitches think they sippin' tea, but girl, it's pee. Got the game on lock, so who you know could really fuck with me? Spanish poppy, when we talking, I'm bilingual. Don't worry about them other niggas, babe, I'm single. All these bitches wanna copy me like Kinko's. Bad bitch posted with me, who is that? That's my amigo. Beat up, got the neighbors in here knocking on the floor. Time to heat up, bad bitch, see her when she walking through the door. If he ain't spend it, she could have him, man, that nigga gotta go. Say that it's up, but they still counting all this money on the floor. We been balling off the course, we be really making plays. She don't really want no beef if she can't say it to my face. Girl, that man was never mine, I just was going through a phase. So please control your hoe before I put her in her place.
We come to you live from the scene above the University District of New Jump City. High in the sky, an ancient threat not seen in a very long time looms over the horizon, the afternoon sun bathing her golden armor. Who she is and what she has come to take from Jump City, we'll find out shortly. But before then, I should be welcoming you all. Ladies, gents, and all those between the binary of the internet, beyond the binary of the internet, welcome back to Let's Roleplay, and more specifically, I welcome you back to Jump City Sirens, our lovely story about heroism and breaking from tradition. I'm your host for the duration of stream. I am Foxy as name and use the he/they pronouns, and I have with me a table of lovely people, dedicated souls, and devoted heroes. I can tell you all about their great deeds and incredible abilities and all their genetic tensions, but instead, I'll let them do that for themselves. So, my dear friends, in the order that I call you out, please do me the favor of telling me who you are, who you're playing tonight, and for our friends at home, of course, where can you be found on the internet? Let's start directly below me, but very, very far from the bottom of anybody's screen if you know what the hell you're talking about. Neo License exclusive. Actually, not anymore, funnily enough. But prior to that, the lovely and incomparable Egg-chan.
Yo, I'm Emily or Egg-chan. I am playing number 5 tonight, the Soldier Playbook. Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm excited to be here.
Glad to have you on deck, gang. Sliding on along the bottom of your screens there for now and keeping it moving accordingly, we come to the one and only mother of mysteries themselves. It's Meg Mysteria.
Hello, I am Meg or Meg Mysteria, and I am playing Mel, Draco's our beacon for this evening. Yeah, Medusa. That's her hero name.
And it's a good one to have, given circumstance. Glad to have you rocking and rolling with us. We're going to pay some love over to the other side of our overlay, where we can see a lovely bit of new ID art provided to us by the one and only Egg-chan. Thank you, of course. And then just above that, you'll see that we are currently missing our beloved Corndog McGraw playing Cleona Connor, the Banshee. They are currently away and healing up, so please send them all your love and support where you can, wherever you can. We love and miss them dearly. Which brings us, lastly, but certainly very far from lastly, over to the internet giant herself. I'm, of course, talking about the one and only Ollie Peach Senpai.
Sorry. Hey, it's me, Ollie Peach, and I'm playing Morphine, the outsider. Yeah, her name's also Aurelia.
Double names. It's an important thing heroes have these days for some reason.
Double
Glad
names,
to have you rocking and roll with us.
Also, singular names. Who needs a last name?
It's true. Listen, it's complicated things. You're identifiable enough. Motherfuckers know you when you walk in a room. That's all that matters here.
They look.
It's true. And lastly, certainly very far from leastly, I suppose, I'm also, like I've already mentioned, Foxy, who uses he, they pronouns. I play everyone who's not these three incredible people and everyone else around them, which is difficult to do because they're really good at their jobs. How good? Well, let's go ahead and jump into the action and I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Last we left off in New Jump City, our crew came together in the aftermath of Nova HQ's onslaught. Tensions flared and honesty was shared. And where revelation mightn't have been declared, I can't say that the current team situation isn't still looking a little impaired. You see how I just dropped those out like that? You see how I just did? Any case,
The way your brain
it seems like, it seems like there might have been a bit of issue with, well, still being some lingering tension and concern around what happened and choices that were made, revelations that might have come around. And I think the team was just about at the point of coming around to some sort of resolution when suddenly, well, the team seemed to have gotten a bit bigger unexpectedly as a newcomer joined the ranks, and a particular one at that. Of note, it happened to have been number 1 of the Jade Cycle, also known as Rabbit, Katrina Victory's personal assistant, letting them know that from this moment forward, they are Hero Cell 34626. We can still call them Sirens for now, though, that's fine. And just as our new hero team was preparing to, well, let's say, introduce themselves, it would seem that something struck as high in the sky over New Jump City, floating atop a glittering disc of silver and gold with spokes away around the angle, is a tall and imposing figure of femininity and power, bedecked entirely head to toe in proud armor, gleaming gold accented with silver lining depicting ancient wars, battles of yore, and conquests shared in glory. This figure is not unfamiliar to at least some of you. At least anyone who's read their history books. None of you have seen this person in New Jump City in your lifetimes. And one of you is not from around here, so that's also a thing. But nonetheless, if you've been reading your Nova records or your history classes on Supervillain History, you would know this to be Domina. And she is an old threat to this world. And I mean that quite literally. It's believed that Domina was first active in the Hellenic era. How she's remained alive this long, let alone this powerful? Some say magic, some say a godly curse, some say magic godly curse. Point of the matter is, she seems to have a very simplistic goal. She's a complicated hero, or villain, I should say. She once ruled an empire, as wide as the land could see, where every mortal for 1,000,000 miles around bowed their head. She'll have it again, no matter what will stop her, or what will try to stop her, I suppose. Nonetheless, heroes, as you, well, I assume pack up your shawarma and start dashing outside, you are met accordingly with that figure slowly descending on that ring, on this disc of power. Initial reactions, things you say, thoughts, considerations?
Guess we'll have to put this discussion on hold while we face a greater threat.
Faisal nod in agreement and gesture towards Rabbit. Let's see what you got, number 1.
Yes, I was hoping to provide a bit of information and perhaps have us all share our capabilities and preferences in combat, but under present circumstance, I believe a live demonstration may be better. Yes?
Let's get to it.
Morphine looks at him distrustingly.
Fair and appropriate. Well, if there's nothing else then, friends, it sounds like it's time for me to have you guys do my absolute favorite thing, which is, of course, to enter into combat as a team. When you enter battle against dangerous foes as a team, first off, go ahead and add 2 to that team pool, friends, putting us up to a grand total of, and I'll mark it because I know you guys can't currently. I should work on fixing that sometime soon, by the way. That's a thing in the future. Put you guys up to a team pool of 4. Let's run the checklist. First off, who's our leader today? Who's running the show? Who feels the most in charge right now?
I nominate Fives.
Fives, do you accept your nomination?
Sure.
All right, then. Fives, is there anyone in the team you're currently lacking influence over?
The Rabbit.
He does count.
And
Why he count? He's not part of the fucking team.
He is now.
Does Cleo count if Cleo's not here?
Cleo does count, even though she's not
Dang
here.
it.
She's still present on the scene.
Yeah, I also don't have influence over Cleo.
So
You
no
should
team
add
there.
to our group instead.
Sorry. Anybody here have the same purpose in the fight? Everybody feel like they got the same idea what they want to get done?
Defeat
Take her
Dominus.
down.
All right then.
Yeah.
The
that
team pool
sounds
for
good
you
to
all,
me.
putting you all up to 5. Does anybody currently feel like they mistrust the leader or the team?
I mistrust the team.
Well, we're going to be dropping that one back down to 4 then. And lastly, anybody feel ill-prepared or off balance?
I'm okay. I just ate a delicious shawarma.
I'm good. What the heck, Mel?
I see a hand in the air.
Why are you
Mel is
off
dealing with some
balance?
stuff, okay?
Understandable.
What happened?
Valid.
Emotional arc. You just kind of tell her mom she's a hero and everything. That did like happen like
Yeah.
a couple hours ago, actually.
Understandable, reasonable.
Like, still pretty fresh.
Maybe I should be more off balance than I am.
Told her
then.
mom she was a hero. She's technically grounded and shouldn't be out right now.
Well, this is during
she's-
school time, so it doesn't count, right? Like you're allowed to be after
Sure.
school,
Sure.
right?
Everybody needs to eat, even superheroes.
You know.
Except morphine.
She also has a power she doesn't know how to fucking use and is supposed to be hiding from Nova.
Yeah, that is also a thing, huh?
Well, just hope you don't use it during this fight.
Yeah.
Well,
Just tell your
friends,
little boyfriend to shut the fuck
I
up.
believe.
as I sense some hostility in the team and locking your team pool of 3,
Maybe.
that disc will slowly descend until it comes down through the higher skyscrapers, and eventually you can actually see the figure atop of it, proud and imposing in her gleaming armor with a large scepter-like staff with 2 bladed curved points at either end. You'd almost call it more of an axe than a staff, really. Her helmet is winged and crested and flows over her long, flowing, like shock blue hair. And there's a glittering gem of blue in the middle of it that's slowly radiating with a strong light. Ah. And what do we have here?
Fives will bow dramatically and say, "Number 5. Pleased to meet you."
When I last roamed this land, it was barely a rolling plain, wild and given to the landscape. And now it is this. And after all this time, you heroes only seem to get less creative with your names. And the others, then?
Fives will gesture to Rabbit. She thinks my name is bad. Wait till you hear his.
Number 1, they call me Rabbit. I see. And she
Not every
turns-
day we get to meet someone from the history books.
She'll lean over and just... Your beneficence is appreciated. My presence is certainly deserving. You there, the one thrumming with power. You are not from this place. What is your name?
Aurelia just stays in silence for a bit because she doesn't want to answer somebody because they told her to do something. But then she's like, "My name's Aurelia."
Aurelia. It will look beautiful on a tombstone.
And what merits this hostility towards me?
By my pardon, are you not champions of this place? Defenders?
It seems like you're confused about many things. One of them is thinking that I have the capability of dying.
Then before we put that to the test, she turns her head somewhat to Mel. You. Who are you?
Medusa.
She cracks a smile. That is quaint. I
You're
was there when her
familiar.
stories were written.
Yes.
Damn,
That
this
was
bitch
your last
old.
appearance.
Morphine didn't say that.
She slowly kind of descends until her sort of like floating disc is now only a few feet above the ground. The myths and legacies tell much of the creature she was, but little of how she died. She was a cursed woman, vindictive and wrathful. Standing against me was the least of her mistakes. Nonetheless, I took her head for it. Let us see if I can't repeat that tale for you. And she leans up, and you'll see that her eyes kind of glow a bit as the crest on the helm also begins to glow. And all around you, the afternoon clouds above in the sky are pierced with these radiant pillars of blue celestial light, slamming down from the heavens into the ground. Dozen or more of them, maybe 24 of them, each impacting the ground around you all and around her. And as they slowly fade away and collapse and dematerialize, in their aftermath are these faint shapes in the faint facsimile of a human. And as they finally stop emanating with this radiant light, you can see that each of them is an armored trooper. A tall spear in one arm, a high shield in another, crested armor bedecked all around them, and their skin and body made purely of this raw celestial light. They stand in perfect synchronism. Domina brings her hand up. Rid me of them. And each of them locks into a stance immediately. And friends, they're on their way towards you with violent intent. How are we responding? Actually, hold on. Let's kick this off a little bit better. I'd like you all to roll to directly engage a threat.
But
Ew.
As you suddenly, because, this isn't like a fight where you can all just easily isolate and pick out your targets and say, I'm fighting this person, I'm fighting that person. There are dozens of soldiers swarming you all, and so thus you're all having to fight at the exact same time, which might not be a thing you're often too used to.
Nope.
Which is maybe why we're seeing so many misses.
That's directly engage a threat, right?
There's
Danger?
You're rolling plus danger.
What's up, Danger?
That ain't my middle
What's up,
name.
Danger? Oh shit, look at that!
Yo!
All right.
Yeah.
Look at that. So, here's how it goes. For my friends that missed, it's gonna be real simple. First off, of course, gain your spotlight. That's an important thing to do because you could, or your potential. Sorry, I keep calling it the wrong thing.
Yes.
Gain your potential for missing a roll. Let's resolve Mel's success real quick. Mel, on a 7 and 9, you can pick one of these from the options. You can resist or avoid her blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. I get to pick which one of the three.
You get to pick, or I get to pick?
I get to pick which one of the three.
Is there anything notable on them that seems to be fueling their existence?
Tough to tell, except that the helm, that gem in Domina's helm is glowing brighter.
Okay.
So what are you thinking, love?
What I want to do is create an opportunity for my allies, but my allies,
You still
when they
can.
end up attacking. I want to do that. I wanna do that.
All right. So, first off, why don't you? I'll turn it over to you guys here for a bit of narrative. Aurelia and Fives, why don't you describe for me what it looks like as you guys are like taking on and fighting? And again, while these are not like superpower, or I guess they are supernatural. These are not like the most powerful individual soldiers out here. They're about as strong as your regular average human soldier would be, I feel like. So they're not individually that much of a threat. Why don't you tell me how in the process of fighting off as many as you can, you start getting kind of overwhelmed?
Who's going first?
Whoever wants to pick it up first.
How many are there again?
Dozens. It doesn't seem like there's an easily definable number.
I'm imagining like a phalanx sort of thing going on. Like lines and lines of motherfuckers.
It's not quite that yet. Like they're moving up to you in organized lines, but they're kind of fighting you guys as sort of separate, like, you know, coming at you from different angles. Some are blocking with shields, some are stabbing with spears, some kicks, some bashes, you know all the stuff.
Okay.
So, you mind if I go first?
Go for it.
I think Aurelia having a fighting style reminiscent of the last one she had, where she kind of just like shapes her energy around her hands to make it more hardened. You see her take on these individuals until like she does a jab, she does kicks, one's behind her, she's like fighting that one comes at her again. And you see her taking enough blows until she kind of gets like, it almost is reminiscent of like being drowned. Like everybody's encrusting her. I don't know the correct word.
I get what you mean. I can see it.
And you see her kind of like shrink into herself, and she goes into like defensive mode. So she starts like shielding with her energy instead of like taking on these threats directly.
All right, yeah. As you're trying to kind of fight your way through, swinging left and right, and you're knocking plenty of them out. You're breaking shields, you're kicking open armor, and these guys aren't the most resistant individually. When you bash through some of their armor hard enough, they just dissipate into that celestial light and fade away. So you're getting some good hits in, but there are just, like you said, so many enfilading and surrounding and coming at you from various angles that it's hard for you to keep them all. And you're just kind of getting slowly chipped at somewhat and having to switch to that kind of like defensive posture, stringing yourselves in somewhat to keep that guard up for you. The camera moves over. Fives, how's it going for you?
I imagine Fives would take flight to try to like attack from a different angle and try to like be somewhat out of reach of their weapons, but I think they didn't factor the fact that these weapons can be thrown. Like,
I'm actually gonna go a bit further than that. You
very
mind?
much an option.
It's not necessarily that they're throwing them at you. It's, I mean, you was like, I think I'm smart. I think you're smart enough to recognize, like, oh yeah, I can dodge and weave from like if they start throwing them up, I might be okay, you know. And you've also got pretty resilient skin, obviously. So you're like, I could probably take people. I'll be okay. You leap into the air. Some of them are like blown away by the explosion of you leaping in the air as you transform fully and get airborne. Some of them start like locking their shields sideways and like putting their spears on top of them, and they don't start throwing them. They start shooting blasts of energy from the ends of the spears, lancing up at you like laser bursts.
Okay,
and you're dodging plenty of them, but they start hitting, and they hit hard. It's not piercing your skin or anything like that, but the impact and the burn, it's definitely not the kind of thing you can easily ignore. And that almost kind of sends you back down, not so much fully out of the ground, but starts lowering you and starts, you know, kind of knocking you out of your flight trajectory very easily. And as the camera's following and recognizing this is definitely not going to be an easy fight for our Sirens, Mel, why don't you tell me how you're handling this this incursion of enemies and what you do to make opportunity for your allies?
I think this is where we see a lot of Mel's combat training, and she is probably keeping kind of low. So she has her swords drawn. It's probably the first time, one of the only times she's used her swords. Has them drawn.
Tell us those alike then.
Huh?
Tell us those alike then, please. Tell us. Let's give us some scenery here.
So Mel's swords are designed to be sort of like whip swords. They're chained together in the center and kind of so that they bend and curve. And they can extend a bit and collapse. It keeps it compacted so that when she's not wearing her jacket that she uses for her hero suit, she can roll it up and put it in her bag. So she's got those out. She's flipped them to the lock and sometimes to unlocks, and where she's constantly, so that now she's in this mess and she is constantly moving between soldiers, keeping low and stepping around them, moving to either catch them around the leg, slash them across the back, quickly disarming them if they manage to get through her, to get close to her, and managing to take down who she can. And do you want me to say how I can help at this point, or?
I think, give me an idea of what you're aiming to do here. Like, what's your intent to, as far as like, what do you want to do to create opportunity?
I wanted to give Aurelia an idea of what she could do to help get herself out of what situation she's in. You know how like the mace balls have the giant spikes that come out of them? Spikes from the ball through all of the soldiers that are like crumbling on top of her.
Okay.
Can I help?
So I imagine it's. Sorry, go ahead, please.
You know how Aurelia has telepathy now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she would be in like Mel's mind when she's going through this, and she kind of?
If she's grasping and looking for ideas or for some help, then yeah, totally, she could be in Mel's head.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Absolutely. So, given that we had 2 fails and 1 person who didn't choose to resist or avoid blows,
I get hurt.
I now need everyone to roll take a powerful blow. So you're gonna roll plus conditions you have.
I like how I never have conditions.
Bullshit!
Oh no!
Isn't that bad?
Nope, that's
bad.
a bad thing here.
Yeah.
That's so
You
bad!
don't want that, friends.
Pow!
All right, Aurelia. First off, you mark potential. Aurelia, you mark potential. For our 2 10 pluses here, you're gonna pick you're gonna pick one. Pick from the following list. You can remove yourself from the scene, flee, pass out, etc. Lose control of your powers in a terrible way, or pick 2 options from the 7 to 9 list. I think I'm gonna let you 2 think about that for a bit, but Aurelia, for how you, why don't you, so tell me, I guess you've definitely gotten the idea from Mel, but you tell me what it looks like as you kind of like take that opportunity and use that to break away from like the storm of enemies assaulting you.
So after kind of checking in with the team telepathically, because she is in a position that she can't necessarily like yell, and she's actually still getting a grasp on her new telepathic powers. She sees that idea from Mel, and you see her at first create these spikes that are a bit small, right? Because it's like almost like the inkling of the idea, because she like starts to develop it as she's like in Mel's head, and then right after she like gets it together, they suddenly shoot out.
Absolutely. We get a nice panel slide of like, it's a 2-panel cut. The first panel is Aurelia kind of like balling up, and I imagine like, if you will, like her eyes kind of flash a bit with that light of her power. Then we get a cut back of just spikes erupting out of the ball, soldiers flying in every direction, some of them getting impaled, and just stardust erupting all around her as several of these soldiers just explode. let's go for our other two friends here. Let's start with Mel. What are you thinking?
I'm going to give ground. Opposition gets an opportunity and struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
All right. What conditions are you marking? You thinking angry, afraid, or
I think I'm gonna do angry and hopeless.
angry and hopeless? And you know what? That's perfectly fair, because I'm actually going to go ahead and throw in one of Domina's villain moves here, if you guys don't mind, to represent what's happening here. So, but before we do that, actually, Fives, tell me what's happening with you.
I would like to lose control of my powers.
Oh, I have a way to. I think that can make this work out. Because I think I'm in your head right now. I'm asking you a question, Fives. Narratively, how much do you think Fives cares about Mel? Like, Mel's somebody you value and who you don't want to see like hurting, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Here's what happens. We cut away from Aurelia bursting out of the explosion with the with the spikes. And time to see Fives, who's still weaving but like taking those laser blasts still. And finally, you kind of like skid impact into the ground. Soldiers go scattering in your wake, but you land kind of on the ground and like are like fighting in melee again. Mel, you break out. You kind of spin kick and kind of take a double step back and realize like, okay, I have like space to breathe. You weave to the side, thinking like I'm gonna re-engage somewhere. You turn around, and suddenly something hits the ground next to you, heavy. And when I say something, I mean someone. As you leap and turn directly into Domina's sidekick, she just smashes her leg into you, and you go skidding the other way back towards the crowd.
No!
Impressive, but slow. I will need more. And she spins that staff in her hands. I have been killing heroes for centuries. Show me better. Fives, what happens when you see your friend get punted halfway across the street?
I think it's kind of like a panic response, that like surge of adrenaline. And Fives will somehow become more dragon than before.
What does this look like visually? Tell us what's happening. Mm-hmm.
Because I imagine Fives' usual dragon form is slightly larger than their normal stance.
Mm-hmm.
Scaly, but still some of their human features are retained. This looks like a beast.
Yeah. You just like burst out of the wave of soldiers, just larger and more imposing, claws sharper, scales fiercer, eyes wilder, and are just sweeping and swapping through like swathes of these guys.
Yeah, I imagine it's also the sort of thing where like as they lose control into this like animalistic urge, there's like that kind of like seeing red, sort of like blindness to what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think just seeing this mess, we kind of, again, camera slide back towards Domina, who kind of tilts her head somewhat and just, how long it's been since I've hunted dragon? Let us see.
Oh, God.
And she starts just slowly, and again, she's not running, she's not like leaping into combat, she is spinning her staff, planting the tip so it drags along the ground, and just slowly swag striding forward. Confident and unafraid of anything that's facing her right now.
Oh,
I think I've thrown enough moves at you guys without letting you guys do anything. What happens next, friends? Aurelia, you've managed to break away with your ball of spikes. Fives, you're slapping and sliding through all kinds of fucking individuals, and Mel, you're picking yourself up from across the street. What happens next, friends?
I guess
one question.
Go for it.
question.
Oh, what is Rabbit doing in this?
Yeah, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, what the fuck is this coming?
Oh, actually, it's
He's supposed to be here, so
it's a good
we're doing
segue.
it.
It's actually a great segue. As you're noticing that you haven't really had eyes on Rabbit a lot this whole fight, and then suddenly you recognize that there's been individual flashes of green sliding across your vision in random places for the last several minutes. And every time that green flash goes off, You see Rabbit appear mid-attack, mid-punch, mid-kick, mid-elbow drop, and he's just whipping his way through these guys as fast as he can. And he's definitely a skilled martial combatant. He's taking down soldiers. But you can recognize, I think even already, without needing to get too deep into watching him fight, you can tell, yeah, sure, he's fast and maybe even a bit stronger than your average person, but he's still just one person who can teleport around and be wherever he wants, it seems, but he can still only be in one place at a time, meaning he can only really take down one soldier at a time. And as you like see him kind of like land and stop for a moment, a soldier will turn and kind of like backswing with the edge of his spear, and Rabbit will step back, but it'll still slide and cut through part of his suit, and it'll kind of leap back and teleport and land back next to you all and just kind of looking around to see like where he can go next. And he's not really communicating with you all, but he's fighting, certainly. Back over to you guys though. What's happening? Really, I saw you had a thought in your brain.
So I was gonna try to like help somebody, defend somebody, but then I was like, what if I like unleash my powers while trying to go check on the homie that just got kicked the fuck in?
Okay. Why don't you tell me this? What do you want to do here? Because I think that's gonna be the bigger like decider on which move you're rolling here, whether it's unleash your powers or like defend someone. Because if your goal is more to like, actually, just tell me what do you think? Like, what do you want to do here? Talk me through it.
So what I want to do is go from being like in that little ball with the spikes to forming that spikes to my body, right? And then flying through the people or the soldiers and then checking on Mel.
Yeah, this sounds like unleash your powers, most certainly. I'll accept that. Because that's like you're trying to overcome an obstacle. The obstacle being, you know, the mass soldiers between you and Mel. So when you unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle, roll plus freak.
Freaky.
Get freaky with me. What's happening?
Full hit. 10.
A full hit. On a full hit, you do it. You don't have to tell me anything about it. Tell me what it looks like when you bowling ball through a group of soldiers and make your way to Mel.
I don't know, you just kind of described it. So Aurelia going from this defensive position that turns into this offensive defensive position, you see her, as I previously described, have this glowing ball of energy slowly like dissipate into her being, with the only thing remaining as being the spikes, as it kind of like form fits to her being. And then she takes her flight position, seeing that Mel is on the ground, and kind of like pummels her way there until she reaches Mel. Because when she reaches Mel, of course, she's not spiky as fuck anymore. She's just her. Yes.
Do you do a cool super fast spiral spin when you start moving through people with all the spikes on you? Because you totally.
I didn't think about that, but now that you mentioned it, she totally does that. Obviously,
your GM does, baby. That's what I'm here for. That's all I'm here to. Listen, I've told you before. My job is just to make the things that you say sound even cooler, and you already do a great job of making them sound cool as fuck. So it's not hard to do. So yeah, you take off in a straight line, kind of angle your body, and become just this spiraling, like almost whirlwind of just dervish blades and whipping, glowing energy. You barrel through a line of soldiers, angling yourself left and right as you spiral and spin through them, moving past fives as your S5 is like swiping and kicking up hordes of soldiers, moving past the blinking rabbit who's slipping left and right of you while he's taking on individuals, and you just eventually skirt to a stop directly in front of Mel. What's the first thing you say?
Time to get up.
Mel pushing herself up onto her feet.
Aurelia would lessen your, what's it called, weight, so you can be a little bit more weightless. Yeah, your density, so you could be a little bit more weightless while you're getting up, so it's not as much of a struggle for you.
Aw.
Thanks.
Well, friends, no time to rest in the heat of the moment. There are still soldiers spiraling down on you, and again, at this point, actually, you know what? Let's make it a little. Yeah, I think let's make it a little bit more intense. So the two of you are standing here in this moment, watching. You can see soldiers still lining up all around you, moving towards you. You can see a larger than you've seen them before, fives, almost wildly swiping and slashing and kicking up like heaps of dust and dirt as they are just slashing through soldiers. And fives, you're so big now, and I think a bit so lost in the sauce with it, that you're not noticing that you're like occasionally like smacking the side of a building or like kicking up parts of the road with your thrashing. It is messy over there.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, it happens when you lose it a little bit. You know, it's
Sorry to the cleanup crew.
World made of cardboard. It's a Superman thing. Happens. Any case, as the two of you are seeing this, suddenly in a flash of green, Rabbit is next to you guys and just, I believe we need to alter our approach. As suddenly in front of you, or not in front of you, but like against the crowd, you can just see Domina slowly stepping towards fives.
We've got to figure out how to keep it contained, and I think, well, has anybody else noticed the gem in her helmet?
I have. Some believe it's the center of her power, or that she's been bonded to some strange eldritch memory deity, but that's a separate conversation.
There's no harm in trying to get it off her head, is there?
She's a prolific melee combatant.
I think it's important to make sure our allies are in one piece. Should we go on the defensive for fives currently?
I can work containment. Keep the outlying soldiers focused on this area here, and take off anyone that are stragglers. If you want to get to fives, I'll make you a hole.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rabbit.
All right, let's begin. Tactical plan number 47 Delta. I haven't taught you that one yet. Run to there. I've got you. And it'll just warp.
Aurelia trying to... Oh, wait, I love this song. Okay.
This is gonna get clipped as like a 30-second dance break, isn't it?
It better fucking be. It better fucking be.
Oh no.
I think... Are there any of like those soldiers in the way between fives and Aurelia and
if you want the
Mel right now,
knocking some out?
I kind of want to get like really wild with it. And since fives mentioned like fucking, well, I guess. Okay. I'm reading.
You got it.
Where was it? All right, but ferrofluid. All right, the fluid part got to me, right? So like, I want this like energy that Aurelia releases to like slowly, like almost like trickle down from her being, and then turn into like spears, kind of like spikes again, and go through the individuals. Like the individual fucking soldiers, like piercing them, like all through them. But you see her get like fucking wild with it, like geometric.
All right, this sounds like you're directly engaging a. Nah, you're more trying to get to fives. So you know what? Given how wild you're pushing your bendy abilities, your morphings, as it were, let's go ahead and call it another unleash your powers, huh?
Yeah, get freaky with it again.
Get freaky with it, please. 9 on a hit. So you can either mark condition, or I'll tell you how it's unstable or temporary.
I hate conditions. Tell me how it's unstable or temporary.
Oh, I think this is pretty simple, honestly. Like it's just that you can do this. Certainly, you're stretching your limbs down into these long, almost ferrofluid spears, impaling any enemies that you can. You recognize that you have a very specific distance you can get to before this becomes like a drain on you, and it's about maybe like 20-30 feet from You have a 20, 30 foot like bubble around you where you can kind of easily create these feral fluid lances around you, but you're recognizing like that's still a distance you have to cross, so you're gonna need to like move while you're doing this, which means you probably need some cover. Mel, what's the plan?
I think I'm probably going to move ahead and like move out of that move towards the end of that distance that Aurelia is, and start taking out some of the people that are trying to cross. No, that doesn't make sense because he can just get those people.
I don't think it's a bad plan though. She can't hit everywhere at once.
Yeah, I guess I'll take out some of the guys who are trying to cross into the territory that she can't get to.
All right. This sounds like it might more accurately be defending someone,
Yeah.
How about you roll plus savior for me? Unfortunately, on a miss, you're gonna obviously still mark your spotlight. So this isn't necessarily you failing to defend Aurelia. I think you absolutely get, like, you obviously, these things, again, they're not the fastest or the strongest. You're definitely still kicking ass and keeping up with them. I think what this really costs you is time. Like, because Aurelia, because you kind of started like making this big obvious, circle around you because Mel, you're kind of fighting with her, you two are drawing attention and more soldiers are now like piling towards you all. In fact, as you look over, with the way you can see Domina kind of waving her hand almost away from Fives, it's almost like she's picked her target and she's now saying, okay, deal with the chaff. I want this one. So you're still making your way towards Five, but it's taking you more time than you would like because you have to now fight through soldiers that are turning away from Five and like coming to stop you as best they can. But you're still making your way there, most certainly.
Okay. Seeing
Sorry,
the
guys, I would help, but I'm lost in the sauce.
I would say seeing the shift in combat, Aurelia would look at Mel or Medusa, I guess, and say, "Do you have this?"
I've got it.
Okay, and then she will kind of fly as fast as she can in a ball of energy, not spiky, but more like a spear, so she can be quick and efficient.
I assume heading straight towards Five still?
Yes.
All right, perfect scene. You take off up into the air and leap forward as a ball of energy. Mel, you're standing there surrounded by soldiers. Suddenly, of course, someone teleports in behind you and kind of backs back for a moment, just says, I'll watch your six.
I'll watch yours.
He smiles for a bit, and the two of you take back off into combat. Let's cut over to our large dragon, to our slightly out of control dragon. Fives, obviously, you're a bit ragey right now, so behave appropriately, of course.
A little ragey. That's
you're smashing and stomping and crunching and crushing your way through soldiers with all this new power flooding in your body. And if you don't mind a little bit of a narrative indulgence here, it feels good.
Oh yeah.
You've hit things before. You're strong, but like you've always kind of stopped yourself, held yourself short because you know you're strong and you don't want to always kill or break things. And you're not worried about that at all right now. Not only that, you feel stronger than maybe you've ever felt before. So as you're crushing and stomping and smashing through soldiers, I agree, it is absolutely. Your almost hazed eyes suddenly look up from the mass and see a tall, armored woman with a spear sliding along the ground, slowly stepping towards you as soldiers almost literally part the way for her. What do you do?
She looks great to fight.
Please roll to directly engage a threat, if you wouldn't mind.
Hell yeah.
Roll plus danger.
Let's see.
Unless you want to pop a special move here. I believe you have a move that lets you roll with a different stat, yes?
Let me see.
Oh, I think I just took that.
Oh
away from
yeah,
her.
more than a shield.
See, I be reading y'all sheets sometimes.
Let me see.
Read more than mine. I did.
When-
I'm sorry.
When you directly engage a threat by heading directly into danger without regard for your own safety, definitely what I'm doing here. Scroll is like. Okay, roll a savior instead of danger. On a miss, your focused attack leaves someone in grave danger. And you will tell me what it takes to keep them safe if I miss.
All right. Is that what you feeling like?
Yeah, I'm here for that, because I have +2 in savior, and I have 0.
Roll it up.
So.
A full hit! Pick 2 from the list. You can resist or avoid her blows, take something from her, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten her.
Okay, I would like to create an opportunity for my allies, and I would like to impress, surprise, or frighten Domina.
Absolutely, I love this. So, tell me what happens, 5. Like, what do you do? Do you just, like, break into a run at her?
Dude, honestly, I'm feeling like so... Like, I'm in my Godzilla era. I want to scream at her and then run at her.
Hell yeah. Hell
Like,
yeah.
guttural and disgusting. Like...
Glass around you shatters, the ground reverberates with
Oops, sorry.
force as you let loose this loud... You use the perfect word, guttural roar. None of you have ever heard Fives make a sound like this, ever. And she just takes off in this run. I imagine there's almost moments where like you almost kind of go quadruped for a brief moment while you're just leaping at her somewhat.
Mhm.
And you're barreling down. You bring a fist up and swing it down as hard as you can. And it's almost a swapped mirror of when you punch the Tide Beast, as you are just met directly with her hand up against your massive one. A shockwave spreads out from where you are. More glass shatters. The ground begins to almost ripple and shatter around the two of you. She tilts her head somewhat. I like you. And she's going to, like, you'll see her turn, spin the spear, stick it in the ground, and just haymaker the inside of your arm to send it away from hers for a brief moment. She can hit hard if she fucking wants to, clearly.
Yeah, I think Fias will just kind of snarl in response and take the hit.
Yeah, absolutely. And you two start brawling it out. Again, you all can hear concussive impacts around you as Fives and Domina are just duking it left and right. However, and this is the opportunity I'll offer you if you'd like. Actually, do you have an idea for your opportunity for your allies? If not, I have one for you.
My hope was that Domina would be a little bit distracted in terms of conducting her legions.
Stop reading my notes! As it goes a bit deeper than that, you'll see that the more Domina is focusing on Fives, while yes, the gem in her head is still glowing as bright as it can. In fact, it seems like it's glowing a bit brighter. It seems like every time Domina takes a hit or swings back at 5, a couple of soldiers in the background, the ones that aren't like actively engaged in fighting you guys, dissipate. Sometimes they like reassert themselves a little bit, but oftentimes they just fully deapportation, just disappear, as if like she's just not focusing on them anymore. And it's then, Fives, you would know this if you weren't, Godzilla moded right now, but Mel, again, I don't know what your grade is in villain history or anything like that, but
I do very good in my classes, thank you.
fair enough. Then you would know this. While it's not very well known exactly how Domina's power works, she is outright told and made it very clear that she basically uses the memory of her empire as her power. She conjures these soldiers from her thoughts and from her memories, and they manifest around her in that starlight. So it's clear that if she's not focusing on those memories, if she's not recalling the soldiers, well, they can't exist. They can't continue to focus. And that's the opportunity you're finding, is that as, 5 and Domina are going at it, again, not so much the ones actively fighting you guys, but the ones further back kind of waiting for their turn, as it were, are certainly just fading out. Let's turn it back over to our friends over in the mosh pit. Aurelia, you're on your way to 5s. What you thinking?
I don't know, I want to know if Mel shares her thoughts with me.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sure.
tap in for a second here. It's like, Aurelia, she's losing her focus on the soldiers. now might be a good time to start getting involved.
Okay. Well, Aurelia, I say okay. What would Aurelia say? Heard. Um.
So Aurelia, what's the plan, huh?
Aurelia is going to. When she says focus, I think that leads Aurelia to try to take in an attack on two fronts. And also, GM, our lovely editor,
Okay.
what type of power does the gem emanate?
I was waiting for you to ask that question. Why don't you go ahead and give me a roll to assess the old situation, huh, gang? How's that sound?
It sounds good to me. Hopefully.
You want to roll plus superior for me?
9.
A 9. You can ask one question from this list. What here can I use to fill in the blank? What here is the biggest threat? What here is the greatest danger? Who here is the most vulnerable to me? How can we best end it quickly? This is like your theme song, by the way, if you were curious. This comes on whenever you're doing a thing, if you've noticed.
I need that other song that makes me dance to come on whenever I'm doing a thing.
Then we'd be having dance breaks constantly.
Okay, fair. That's not very Aurelia based. I would say Aurelia is gonna say what here's the biggest. Oh no, what here? How can she end this quickly? I think that's it.
How could you best end this quickly? Absolutely, okay. I think, Aurelia, you're tuning your magical, your senses of the beyond as best you can. You're getting a sense of what this feels like. And that's the funniest thing, Aurelia. You only barely felt all of the realms for a brief moment. And you kind of got the sense that they were all very distinct, and it kind of fit with Vol's story of what each realm is like. You know, orderly, chaotic, empty, destructive in various different ways. This magic, this energy that contains and maintains and manifests her thoughts in reality, it feels incredibly orderly and structured and almost, the word I'm going to use is mathematical. I don't mean that literally, just in terms of the way that it structures. But I think if I was to use a word for the way it feels the most to you, familiar.
I don't know this bitch. Okay. So Aurelia is going to attack on two fronts then. She is going to focus some energy. There's energy in that fucking crystal she got in her head, right? That gem.
Plenty of it.
She's gonna focus some energy on that, and she's gonna try to manipulate that while also like going into this lady's mind and just giving her the most chaotic thoughts, almost like complete entropy, like something that doesn't have any order, something that's just broken, confusing, almost giving her all the emotion that Aurelia has been feeling recently and unloading it onto her. So it's like she doesn't have this capability of focusing. She doesn't have this capability of knowing what she's gonna do next. Just like a complete, utter sense of turmoil.
So, here's what I'm going to say to set you up for this. I love this plan a lot. So here's what's happening here. Yet, you make that plan in your head, Aurelia, and it honestly makes plenty of sense. You start trying to kind of like attune to and manipulate the gem somewhat, reaching out your perception to kind of like reach out and see what you can do sort of to it. And you're recognizing that one, it is, the gem isn't a source of power, it is a battery. It has an amount of energy that's been stored and charged within it somehow, and that's been bound to it and is what she's drawing and using. How she got it, what bound it, that's a whole backstory we get into that in the Domina prequel side story when that comic comes out. Look out for it in 2027. But before that, you are going to need, so that's the first complication. I'll give you the sort of like the solution to it in a moment when I mention your second thing, because your second thought was trying to push those thoughts into her head. And that's much more difficult to do. you start pushing thoughts against her and recognize that it's almost like there's a wall just bouncing that telepathic like attempt away from her, just deflecting it away like it's not even a consideration. I won't leave you in suspense here because I think you're doing it enough that you get a sense of what might be the issue here. It's her helmet. The helmet blocks psychic attacks.
What Magneto fucking
Her literal
bitch ass
tinfoil
shit?
hat. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Magneto ass bitch ass shit is this fucking shit, world domination ass fucking shit, bitch ass shit.
Okay, fair enough. Which I think does lead you to what at least seems like your solution to both if you want to get the helmet off of her and or if you also want to manipulate the gem, you need to get close.
Okay. Aurelia
But before I let you do, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
You said before. Let me hear it. I can start whipping up some shit while you're focused on whatever.
Well, I'll give you some time to whip it up because while I think you recognize that and are seeing again Mel and Rabbit kind of fighting off and duking it out as they can, Five still tussling with Domina 1-to-1, Aurelia making her plan and recognizing, all right, I gotta go get messy if this is gonna go well. It's at that moment we're gonna go ahead and offer you guys our ad page while we slip over to a quick intermission to let our players refuel, defuel, and prep for what comes next. Don't touch that dial, don't turn that page, and don't leave the comic shop yet. It's Jump City Sirens. Come back to you in a few minutes. Later, gang.
Michelle might need a couple of minutes.
Oh shit! Right, we didn't pick. We didn't pick. That's on me. I totally. And we welcome you back to a scene of panic and chaos as a fight breaks out just outside of the University District. Our Jump City Sirens taking on the indomitable Domina and her army. As the situation stands, we have, of course, Aurelia, who has been above the battle assistance situation and coming to the conclusion that Domina's gem and her helmet appear to be central to her power. Go figure, obviously. Fives, meanwhile, enraged and enlarged, is slugging it out with the erstwhile ancient villain, while Mel and the team's newest member, Rabbit, appear to hold off the best they can against the horde of soldiers still surrounding them. With that said, friends, as I swing us back in some nice combat music, who wants to take the camera first? What's happening here?
I'm trying to give this camera.
Who wants it?
Here, I'll take it.
All right.
Thank you.
Mel, you are engaging in furious melee combat with several soldiers all at once, having to duck and weave constantly while still going on the offensive. What's your game plan? What are you doing? And tell me how you do it.
Namely, just doing my best to keep moving, weaving and going at soldiers from the back and the sides, since most of them are carrying shields, aren't they?
True.
Mostly shields and
Shields and
spears. So,
The old sword and board, you know. I guess the old pike and board.
The old ball and chain.
So the method to the madness is getting behind them to take them down or disarm them so Rabbit can get an opening.
All right, then I'm gonna say this is either going to be directly engaging a threat, or no, I think it's actually just that.
Yeah.
Could you roll plus danger for me?
Danger.
Okay.
Danger.
A
Full
full
hit.
hit.
You can resist or avoid blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten your opposition. You can pick 2 from the list with that 10.
I am going. You said 2?
Yes.
We're going to resist or avoid their blows and create an opportunity for allies.
All right. So you don't have to worry about rolling, take a powerful blow. So why don't you tell me what opportunity you create and open up? What's the game plan here? Walk me through it. What's that look like?
I think what it kind of looks like is forcing, we'll say at least a couple of, maybe we pulled this off a few times, maybe not, at least a couple of them with the whip swords, wrapping them around, managing to like whip them and wrap the blades, or the blade,
Segments?
I forgot what segments, yes. Segments around the ankles or the lower leg of the soldiers and yanking them out from under them so that they become unsteady and kind of have to catch themselves on their feet, lower their guard. And it creates an opening for Rabbit to kind of jump in and get them by the back of the neck, or
Yeah, absolutely.
something.
You are, kind of whipping and kind of pulling around, and as you're doing this, you're still having to kind of like fight off and like just like destroy some as you're doing so. But you finally manage to whip both of your swords around like the ankles of a soldier and yank back, taking them off their feet and having them kind of fall on their hands to the ground, letting go of their shield. And as they kind of land on the ground, Rabbit materializes just like above them with like spinning heel drop and just drops it on the back of their head. It dissipates in stardust, and he looks over at you and just nods.
Nods back and moves on to the next.
And yeah, he's just going to keep himself moving as well, honestly, at this point. Still kind of sliding his way around. And Mel, at this point, you're still kind of been slowly making your way towards fives, I imagine. So you're getting there, but it's still going to take you a fair bit of fighting through some soldiers to do it. In the meanwhile, let's check in on fives, actually, and then we'll slide right back to we'll get Aurelia in this mix in just a moment, yeah? Fives, you're duking it out with the mother of monsters herself. Wait, that's Meg, never mind. Mother of
That's
thought.
my teammate.
Mother of thought soldiers. It worked better in my head. You're fighting with Domina. What's the game plan?
Starlight soldiers.
Bagger. Write that one down.
Can I like try to slice her up with my claws?
You damn sure can. Why don't you go ahead and roll to directly engage a threat?
Bet.
Please roll plus danger.
What's up, danger?
You could definitely probably still apply more than a shield here if you'd like to.
Do I have more than a shield again?
Yeah, it doesn't say like you can only do it once thing, so it just says when you do it. So you're doing it.
I feel like I'm kind of not regarding my own safety here. I'm kind of
you're
solo tanking this lady.
still on the old rage train. Roll it up.
Yeah. 7.
7's a hit. You can pick one from the list. Resist or avoid blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity. Impress, surprise, or frighten.
Resist or avoid their blows.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
What's it look like as you're having to, in your large form, duel it out and duke it out with this effectively only slightly taller than human-sized woman? What's happening? Walk me through some of this visually.
I mean, I'm not like super big, so I imagine it's like she's like I was gonna say she's like rainy sized compared to me. I'm so sorry.
Ray!
As
Ray,
Rainy
shots
will
fired.
tell you, as Rainy will tell you themselves, they're very tiny.
It's true.
But yeah, I feel like I'm bigger than her, but not like she's like a Polly Pocket. Like she's not like that small.
Uh-huh.
And I imagine that like I'm kind of slashing at her, like just like arm force mostly. And while she's like trying to trade back blows, my scales are just kind of absorbing the impact.
Absolutely. And you'll notice that she, again, put her spear into the ground and was kind of just meeting you with her fists, almost again, kind of acknowledging that physical strength of yours and kind of fighting you on. what in her mind seemed like even terms. And so you're turning away her fists and blows with your scales as you're kind of like getting these slashes into her. You get a good slash that kind of goes through her guard and cuts in towards the eye of her helmet. And she kind of reels back somewhat. And she'll mark her conditions because she has marking condition in this instance, obviously, because she has.
fuck her up.
I'm gonna get there. Don't worry, I got you. Give me 1 second.
I have a question, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go on. No, go, please.
I was gonna say, while she's like fighting this big ass bitch, could Aurelia just like telepathically just put the word helmet in Five's head?
Absolutely. I think you can manage to do that, certainly.
Okay, sorry for the interruption.
Word.
No, you're fine. Thank you for that.
Go for
And
it.
I think I think that happens right after this blow, because Fives, your blow does like slash a bit into like the upper eye guard of her helmet crest somewhat, cut a decent sized rent in it, and even draw some blood. She stands back, and as that blood kind of leaks down somewhat towards her nose, she brings her hand up, wipes the back of it. I will never be denied. This world has denied me. Enough! And she'll just swing a haymaker at you. As it seems like she's going to kind of reveal the nature of her drive somewhat, and in her moment of insecurity, as it seems she's, quite focused on that goal of empire, perhaps for some very personal insecurity she's not letting go of from what she's lost.
Mommy issues. Got it.
Yeah.
Sure.
She's mommy and she's an issue, so.
Oh.
So, Fives, it's a hard crack right to the middle of your kind of solar plexus and makes you kind of take a step back, even though you absorb the hit still on your impressively resilient skin and scales. But it does make you kind of take a slight step back somewhat, and you're looking sort of like just in time. And in that moment, you kind of like, as you're still kind of like able to maybe briefly, slightly separate from that haze of anger for a bit, you hear a familiar voice kind of echo a single word in your head. Helmet. And it's at that moment, let's swing over to Aurelia. What you doing, gang?
Trying to see if Five takes off this bitch's helmet.
You just gonna hang out in the background until anything?
Nah, she's coming for the helmet too, I guess.
All right. Tell me how you do it. What's it look like?
I think Aurelia's gonna play into her kind of shape-shifting abilities a little bit more now. Instead of like taking on her human form in any capacity or her humanoid form in any capacity, she's really just gonna turn into like a beam of energy.
Okay.
And she's gonna go straight for the helmet.
All right. Let's see. This is gonna sound to me like directly engaging a threat again. Yeah. Really tripling down on that one today, I feel like. But you know what? We're fighting it out. So please roll plus danger for me. What's up, danger?
What's up, danger?
Don't be a stranger.
I don't like this. I take it back. Just kidding.
You got team pool. Anybody want to draw from that team pool to help?
How many
I
do I
can give
need?
you
Like
two. I can
Oh.
give you
Mel
two.
can give you 2.
That's what I need, right?
Yeah.
You need 2 to get a hit.
Yeah.
All right. Let me make sure I'm reading through this properly to make sure I'm talking about her. Mel, why don't you go ahead and read that move that lets you throw 2 into the pool when you do it? Talk to me.
Move won't let you down. When you help a teammate, you can spend 2 out of the team pool to add +2 to their roll.
All right. Why don't you tell me? Because I think what happens here is as Aurelia goes like shooting directly at Domina, and she's still kind of duking it out with Fives, it's almost seamlessly, without even turning her head, as Aurelia starts beaming at her, she steps back, whips the spear out of the ground, and turns and just almost like meets the beam of energy on the edge of her like axe halberd thing, just smashes into it, deflects you away, and Aurelia, you land mostly not all that unharmed, although you are ready to take a powerful blow. So you can go ahead and roll plus conditions you have currently, and we'll talk about what happens for you that in a moment. Sorry, excuse me, I'm wrong. Before then,
Say, wait a minute.
yeah, before then, Mel, as Domina is holding this beam of light that is Aurelia against her halberd, and still kind of like grabbing onto one of Fives' hands, like when the swing comes down, how do you jump in to help? and then and then once you tell me that, we'll spend the team pool. We'll have Aurelia resolve the 7 that she got from the hit, and then that'll tell us what happens as a result of the exchange blows. I got it, guys. I fucked the order of operations. I fixed it.
Okay, so I am talking now.
Yes.
So at this point, I think Mella's made it through the soldiers, so she's managed to make it close, and she's just snuck around past 5s and quickly closed the distance as Domina has turned her attention toward Aurelia, and she is you would say Domina is dominant in this Athena level, right? Or
as far
higher?
As physical strength? Absolutely.
As far as like
martial ability?
not necessarily martial ability, like physical resistance.
Pretty close. Pretty comparable, I would say, yes.
So I could swing a sword at her and not feel guilty about like possibly hurting her.
Go for it.
You know. Okay. Just a shrug. Okay. I just want her attention. That's fine. What better way to swing a sword at her face? That's gonna be what I do.
Yeah. You slip inside of her guard and bring that sword up, and it's almost like, again, following a similar line to like the curve that 5's like claws drew, it gets another clean line across her, and she clearly gets a bit angered by that. And as she kind of gets like turns to like, engage you a bit, Aurelia, that gives you that +2. So you get to take 1 from the list when it comes to directly engage a threat. So you can pick 2, resist to avoid her blows, take something from her, create opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Take something from her.
What you taking?
I want to take the gem, but I don't think you'll let me, so I'll take the helmet.
I mean, I was going to give you roundabout in the same way, a similar fashion. I'll give you the helmet most certainly. But you do still need to roll take a powerful blow. Which I can see you did there.
What are you talking about? What? I don't know what you're saying.
So,
Huh?
you're gonna pick 2 from that. You're gonna pick 1 from that top list or 2 from the bottom list. Good. You can either remove yourself from the situation, flee, pass out, etc. You can lose control of your powers in a terrible way, or choose 2 options from the 7 to 9 list. 7 to 9 list for our audience at home is lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of influence with the condition. Give ground. Your opposition gets an opportunity. You struggle past the pain. Mark 2 conditions.
You know what? I want Aurelia to lose her power or lose control because she's never lost control.
Interesting. I like this. Aurelia, you push more of your energy into this beam as it kind of collides against Domina's like axe halberd. I should have named this weapon appropriately, but I didn't. I'll do that later. And as Mel steps in and gets that second slash, the distraction is just enough for you to push and get past her guard. The halberd goes spinning out of her hand. You smash into her head, and you directly collide with the helmet. It flies from her. It just goes flying and spiraling off in the distance, impacts in like the second floor of a building that was blasted open by 5's and Domina's struggle earlier. The trouble is, actually, I'm gonna ask you, do you want to tell me how you control your powers, or should I tell you?
Can I hear both options?
What? Sure. I think what I'll give you is, you can tell me how this feels for you. I was thinking that it's almost like you don't literally like disappear, but for a moment you dissipate, as like the impact with Domina's magical energies and the energy of a helmet cause you to literally for a moment just disperse into reeds of energy. And it takes you some time, a painful amount of time, to like reform yourself effectively, was the thought I had.
Hey, that's better than my thought.
You sure? What is yours? I want to hear yours.
Exploding.
I think it's the same thought, babe.
I know, but like yours was like I just go into this energy. Mine was like energy's impact so bad, big bomb, big boom.
I think it's the best of both worlds here, honestly. I think it's exactly that. You all get a moment briefly. We get this like beautiful, gorgeous, like, comic panel free frame of like Domina's head whipping backwards, the helmet flying from her head, her blue hair billowing in the wind, and like a big ball of white with an Aurelia-shaped, roughly shadow vaguely in it. Before there's this.
She has gold energy.
You're right. Excuse me. It's this big ball of golden energy, excuse me, with Aurelia barely held in the middle of it as an almost kind of like vague shape before a concussive boom sends everyone to the ground. Soldiers fall away and dissipate. Domina sort of like skids to the ground to one side. Fives, you go flying from the explosion. Mel, you go like Mel, you actually don't even go fully flying, I imagine. You kind of like, because of the way you were under, Mel, you kind of just like kind of compacted into the ground more almost. And for the briefest moment when you all look up, Aurelia is gone. She's just not there. You just see these kind of like strands and reeds of golden energy just almost fluttering down towards the ground. Mel, you...
Not again, bro.
I'm trying to be like the... I need somebody to animate me like fucking disappearing now.
I know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mel, you kind of briefly get yourself back up. Five, same. You're kind of slumping yourself together, getting back up off the ground. Domina gets up next. And of course, she's gonna also mark another condition because, well, you did trade some blows with her. She's gonna mark a condition. That's how that works. That's how the game works.
I didn't just trade a blow with her. I blew on her.
Oh my!
Hey, yo!
All right. So this is gonna happen. Give me a brief moment if you don't mind, just to look over some things so I can make sure I've got everything that I've
Do your thing.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I got it here. This is gonna happen. She is going to. Yeah, I give it. So this is going to happen here. The condition she's marking is going to be a bit different than how our actual emotional response will be, but it'll make sense for what I got cooked up here. Fives, you kind of briefly manage to like see yourself like as you're kind of like picking yourself up off the ground. You pick your head up and see like the legs of Domina's armor as she's already gotten back to her feet. She leans down, grabs you kind of by like one of your horns, and just hucks you at Mel. Just whips you around. Mel, she's definitely coming in a bit too fast for you to easily dodge, especially when you're still, compacted on the ground and getting yourself back up. Thankfully, something hits you in a quick flash of green and puts you back on the ground. And Fives just sails right over your head, skidding into the ground a few feet from you. You also have a rabbit on top of you now, so that's good.
Oop.
And it's at that moment Domina turns back to you all, looks at, kind of looks up, dabs at her own blood on her head somewhat, holds out her hand, the halberd zips back into it, holds out her bloody hand, the helmet zips back into it, and she cuts it, she tucks it under her shoulder, under her arm somewhat. You have fought well, and by the tradition of Agon, I give you glory in your victory. This will not be the last time you see me, little heroes. And she will just take a powerful leap.
Where?
Away.
What direction?
It's roughly, say, eastbound. City's edge. You'd imagine. You fly.
Long Jump Island, disgusting.
In fact, actually, if you'll excuse me, I'm actually gonna go a bit further than next. I love rule of cooling shit like this. She jumps up, and actually, this is how I'm gonna do this. She jumps up, like just straight up, as hard as she can, and it seems for a moment like you're all like, "What in the hell just happened?" And it's only then in the distance that you can kind of see it. There are some clouds kind of parting as if something massive is descending from them miles away from the city. It looks like a jagged chunk of land, like an island, slowly floating down at the edge of the cloud cover and almost stopping in the middle of the bay, just a few miles out from New Jump City, where you're pretty certain everyone can see it. Give you one guess whose island that is.
Domino's Island.
Domino's timeshare, baby.
Domino's
prizes for
Pizza
easy
Hut.
wins? Okay, yep, it's all three of those things actually. Domino's Island, timeshare, Pizza Hut. In any case, it seems like this is a moment where things slowly start to somewhat fall silent. The city is still a bit somewhat chaotic around you all, as well, a big fight with the villain did just happen. Buildings are damaged and chaos spreads somewhat. But you all have some moments sometimes. That's because this is New Jump City. Emergency services are, of course, already on their way. You can hear sirens in the distance and, see vehicles approaching already. So you know that these, people are going to be attending this and assisting somewhat pretty soon. And not too far from you. So let's start with the three we've got here. Fives, you're crumbled over. How much rage mode you still are, I think, is totally up to you in this moment. Mel, you're under a rabbit currently.
Excuse
I'm
me.
gonna need Rabbit to get
Okay.
up.
Say it then.
Rabbit. Can you please get off of me?
It just warps until he's standing next to you directly. So very sorry. Please forgive me. I'm very sorry.
It's okay, thank you.
He'll then turn over to just number 5. Are you well?
I think Fives will kind of like howl towards the sky in the direction that Domina jumped away. Like confused, like where the fuck did she go? I wasn't done.
Rabbit flinches at the roar. Reasonable sentiment. And has anyone seen what happened to Aurelia?
Mel's still kind of just laying in the ground staring up at the sky. Just says she exploded.
Oh no. And it's at that moment that you can start seeing, sort of not too far from you all, that energy, those streams of energy that had been like fluttering to the ground in every direction from where Aurelia exploded, have been slowly kind of gently floating together into a large sort of gleaming, almost like dewdrop of energy that is slowly beginning to take a roughly humanoid shape.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be naked again.
I don't write this. I tie the ends up. I don't write story moments. You heard it here, gang.
Oculars!
Aurelia came into this world naked. She's gonna come into it again naked. Stay naked. You ain't gotta get naked.
Fair enough. So, friends, Aurelia, it doesn't take you too long to reform. I think it's more about how painful it is to do so, and it's exhausting. Like you feel a lot of wind knocked out of your sails. In fact, I don't know if you've ever really felt exhausted before, but you're certainly feeling it now. But eventually you do reform, sans clothing apparently, and there you are.
She quickly like dresses herself as soon as she's like reforming. But you will have a 2-second while she's reforming, you will have like 2 seconds where she's just like naked. And then she got the
Rabbit's
you won't
eyes
be
are
able to
literally
see
on the floor.
But you wouldn't be able to see anything anyway, because she's just, while she's naked, she's just glowing so brightly, you know? She's just glowing.
that. True that, not
I
do
need
that.
my eclipse glasses. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
Yeah. You can see this moon.
Oh, come on. Please. Please.
Bella's kind of not lying on the ground anymore. She's kind of sat up, but she's hugging her knees to her chest. And she's got her head down. She's put like her headset over her ears. And... No, she's taking a minute. 'Cause no, that was a little too reminiscent.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
That was
I'm
a
sorry.
little bit too.
I'm sorry I exploded like your sister did.
Wild fucking words to hear in an episode of Jump City Sirens
Morphine,
here, gay.
Morphine didn't say that. Morphine didn't say
I know,
that.
it's crazy out of context, gang. I think Rabbit is in this moment looking over at Mel and then looking at the two of you, Aurelia and Fives. One, obviously, just to see, like, are you okay? Is everybody unhurt? Is but also just like, what do I do? Is she okay? Like, is this a thing she does often? He's not saying anything. He's just looking around, clearly uncomfortable in the confusion.
Okay, I think Morphine, as she gets her being back, you could say, she would look towards Fives and say, come back to yourself. But she would say it like out loud, but also in her head. And then she'll make her way to Mel. Not even acknowledging Rabbit looking.
Yeah, I think he's just still looking around confused, but he's watching, and I think he's gonna like slowly backstep and like maybe step over towards Fives and figure like, okay, I'm gonna leave this one with you for now. Mel, in the meantime, in the midst of with your headphones on and the world kind of muted somewhat, you hear a familiar, I was gonna say friendly voice, but I don't think we're there yet. A familiar voice in your head telling you to come back to yourself and see Aurelia approaching you.
Well, I said that to
Fives.
As opposed to me.
Fives.
Oh, never mind. I super misunderstood that. Excuse me entirely for that, actually. Yeah, in that case, I'm gonna invert that real quick if you don't mind. Sorry about that entirely. Let's check with Fives real quick for now. Fives, does that work? What happens here?
I think it does. Fives will kind of like still in this like animalistic form make this kind of like whimpering sound, like a dog being told to go to its crate. But they will oblige. They know the fun is over. And they'll return to human form.
Well, as you do so, you see another of your, I guess you'd call them cousins, or, your new teammate, slowly approaching and just offering a very quick,
good work in the fight.
Thank you. You were impressive.
That doesn't usually happen.
No part of today usually happens. Domina's been inactive for decades. This is unprecedented.
Well, unprecedented things tend to happen when you're working with people like us.
He smiles somewhat, and I will adjust accordingly. Are they going to be okay?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I think we'll actually take that moment to quickly check in on those two. Well, with the world muted around you, the city kind of somewhat dulled in your perceptions of your headphones, do you notice Aurelia approaching?
She probably gets the faint notion that somebody's approaching her. But she does have her head down so she doesn't see who it is.
Well, then Aurelia, what do you do as you suddenly notice, well, you don't see Mel have any immediate reaction to you approaching. How do you approach?
I could go two ways with this.
So I'm
Should I
sensing
be
that-
should I
Go
be
ahead.
unintentionally sexy with it?
All right, so do I
Now
play the
what a
romantic
question
sentimental
to
tracks
ask!
or the sad sentimental tracks is what I'm hearing.
I don't know if it's gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna be unintentionally sexy with it.
Hit it.
Right. I think Aurelia's gonna approach her, see her kneeling down with her head, like in her knees or whatever, right? And then
Yeah.
with like one finger to her chin, raise it. So they're looking eye in eye, you know, like, what has you down, Mel? I think that was the sexy part, just like.
No, I agree. The fanfic writers are losing it right now. It's me. I'm the fanfic writers.
Thank you.
You exploded.
It wasn't my best moment. But I'm here.
Glad you're okay.
I hope to say the same about you.
I'll be fine.
And then I think Aurelia will like take any of that hair that's probably in Mel's face from fighting that hard battle and getting loose from her braids and like tuck it behind her ear and then help her up. To your feet. We have a city to save.
She'll just kind of nod and accept her hand to help pull her up and get to her feet.
Yeah, so there's like a hand, but she also likes to make you weightless, so it's like so easy. So when you're like getting to your feet, you're like almost like levitating in the air momentarily and then slowly falling.
She smiles at Aurelia, but Aurelia might not be familiar with the kind of look, but Rabbit or Fibes might be. But she's clearly kind of dissociating, like she's not here in the moment.
That's fine. Aurelia wasn't here a moment ago.
That's true. That's not inaccurate.
Oh, yeah.
Not an untrue statement. So, I think as we leave you two in this moment for a brief bit, and we'll come back to Mel, because I definitely want to make sure everybody's okay. Before then, let's slide briefly back over to our other pair here. Fives, you're kind of working yourself down somewhat. Your features shift back to their more standard size and scale. You could feel your bulk lessen and also feel like the adrenaline started flooding out of your body. And in the way it does, as the adrenaline leaves, the pain begins to replace it. Because, ow, that woman hits hard.
Yeah. Well, you know. All in a day's work, I suppose.
What's on your mind, though? Anything you say, especially with your, I suppose, newly revealed sibling or cousin? I'll figure out what the term I'm going to use for you guys is eventually. Stands next to you.
Fives will try to make like lighthearted conversation, kind of. So are those all your powers, or are you keeping any secrets?
Well,
Is
it's
this
a
teleporting
bit.
it, or
It's kind of actually, funnily enough, almost as you say, like the teleporting. He actually kind of. It's a bit shy, but still a bit of like a perk up somewhat, and just it's technically not exactly teleporting. Funnily enough,
what is it?
super quantum positioning.
Okay, you're gonna have to speak English for me. What?
So, at quantum levels of matter, at quantum level states, subparticles are in a quantum superposition between existing and non-existing until observed, which collapses the wave function and leaves them in one or the other. I effectively exist at a quantum scale. I exist and don't exist everywhere at all times. Teleporting, as you were, is just choosing to reassert where I am and where I'm not.
I think during that spiel you see Fives' eyes start to kind of glaze over, but then they snap back into focus at the like reasserting where I am statement. And they'll kind of mumble, wonder how the hell Rivers pulled that one off.
And you'll see him flinch, and it's like that's the wrong song. I don't want that one. It's like a notable flinch. Like he clearly it took a lot of perfecting, as I understand it. The training was far from easy.
He's not the type to make anything easy, is he?
No. Which is why I do not understand why the madam insists on working with him so closely.
Desperation, I suppose. I wonder the same thing.
Little things scare me more than a desperate dream of victory.
Disagree.
Oh, really?
But you're saying?
No, he just was curious about the statement. He said he disagreed, and he said, "Oh, really?"
Oh, I said I don't disagree.
Oh, sorry, I misheard that.
I think now that the conversation has kind of also turned to victory, Fives will cautiously ask, is there a reason that you've been kept a secret from the other cycle members?
I am sure there is one. I can't say that I've ever been told it.
Is that your choice?
I'm gonna need you to roll to pierce the mask here, actually, real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I want to
Sure.
give you some real deep questions here. So go ahead and give me a plus mundane, if you don't mind. Roll plus mundane, mundanity.
Oh, that's a
Oof!
0.
The O0 for oh dear. Yeah,
Oh dear.
I think you clearly recognize you might have pushed a bit too far as he immediately buttons up and says, Of course it was. Mission and operational parameters didn't require me to be privy to that intel, so I didn't ask. We should check in with your friends." And he just starts immediately
Sure.
walking towards the other two.
I imagine Fives doesn't even see anything weird about this. Because
Oh, God.
Rabbit totally seems like a jumpy kind of person anyways.
Tell Jumpy.
Yeah. I think Fives will follow as well to see how Mel and Aurelia are doing.
Well, sounds like we're building ourselves up to a nice little group scene as Aurelia, Mel, the two of you, as you're looking around taking in the scene, notice your other two compatriots. And also, it seems like eventually you'll notice that the whole time that fight was going on, clearly it was, if it was hard on anyone, it was definitely hard on all of you, obviously, but you suddenly notice that you've really not been able to keep a good track of Cleo since the fight broke out. She was definitely there with you when things started. And as you kind of like, eventually start kind of like, parting the tide, you realize that like she is standing not too far away, her hand extended and giving heavy breaths. And it looks like she's almost standing in a crater. Like, you've all seen her telekinesis enough at this point. You know that it just seems like she was pushing out enough telekinetic force to just blast away from her at all times. And it's a bit of a scary sight, I think, maybe. You've not really seen her push that far before. And it's not something she dwells on. She almost, just like as soon as possible, just, yeah, I'm okay. All good here. And we'll turn it back over to you all as the four of you, well, the three of you and Rabbit. And Cleo's on her way over. She's walking over, obviously, but she's going to, seems like maybe check on some of the, within some of the emergency services, make sure they're okay. Standard hero procedure here at this point. Check in, make sure everyone's doing all right. So that leaves the 3 plus Rabbit of you sat here in this moment. Who says anything, does anything, thinks anything?
Are you okay, Fives?
Are you?
Yeah.
Good. I apologize for the outburst, everyone.
Why is that happening?
What?
You getting big and scary. Foxy laughing at me.
I'm sorry. That just got me. I don't know. I let it
I think Faisal kind of like sheepishly scratched their head. Well, the research team told me that my powers can be triggered by strong emotions, a kind of like fight or flight response, but instead of fight or flight, it is fight and flight because I'm a dragon. So I think it was something like that. I've done a lot of work to try to control it, but sometimes things get too intense, I guess.
Was it because I got hurt?
Maybe? I don't remember. It was kind of a blur after I turned into big mode, to be honest. They're making excuses.
I say, I will pierce that mask. Don't make me do it.
No.
I mean,
you should do it.
Is Fives even a good liar? Let's be honest.
Hey,
you can probably
listen.
tell I'm lying.
Hey, listen. Let's roll it up. Let's get some questions asked. Please roll. Plus mundane.
Sorry, I just took away your mundane.
What we got?
0.
Oof, another you guys just cannot. You
Damn.
guys are the most emotionally unconnected team I've
Hey.
ever had. It's
Look,
hilarious.
Mel's dissociating. She's got an excuse. Leave her alone.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. Go ahead and still gain the spotlight, both of you. That's important anyway.
Oh, true.
And yeah, we'll just. I think in order to kind of get us back in the scene, let's quickly just slide in. Aurelia, you're watching this happen. Is there anything you're thinking, you're saying, or adding here?
Nah, Aurelia is kind of like trying to make it seem like she's really put together, but exploding and then trying to piece herself back together actually like depleted a lot of her energy sources, as you said previously. And she's feeling like tired for the first time. And Aurelia is pretty strong. Her eyes are typically like glowing. She has like gold eyes, but you could see them flicker occasionally now. And she's like strong and stoic, but also fading.
It's a powerful
Are you okay,
image.
Aurelia?
You can't tell that she's not okay.
You can or can't.
You cannot. You have to like.
Unless you want to pierce that
Bitch,
mask.
I will pierce that mask.
Pierce it.
Try
Go
again.
in with a -2 and I will do it.
Let's see it.
Watch me get another 0. 6.
Close.
Wait,
Close.
take a team, take a team.
Oh!
Don't take a team. Don't take a team.
Do it. Do
I'll
it.
take a
Don't do
team
it.
on
Don't
this
do it. Don't do
pierce
it. Don't do it.
Okay, so here's the question then. Fives, is this you helping with this to take one from the team pool? Or Mel, is this you acting selfishly taking from the team pool?
How could I help in this situation?
It's up to you. Just like, what do you know?
We're both scrutinizing her, like,
I would,
Do that.
yeah, exactly. I would like to scrutinize.
All right, absolutely. So yeah, I think it's like, yeah, as Aurelia, you hear Mel kind of like, ask you, are you okay? And you're prepared to be like, it's fine, it's nothing, it's whatever. You look over and see Fives also kind of just like eyeballing you, trying to like get a sense of like, you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Which makes that a 7 on the Pierce the Mask, which means, Mel, you get to ask, I believe it's 1 question from the
1,
list?
yeah.
1. So, here are questions for both of you to hear. What are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How can I get your character to insert the rest of the answer? How could I gain influence over you?
I'm thinking, how could I get your character to open up to me?
It's a good question. Ollie, you're fucking the disgust on your face.
Opening up. Ugh. What do I look like? A filthy human? A mortal? Ugh.
Honestly, could you not see how cool I was like 3 seconds ago when I was kind of naked?
Before you exploded?
We don't talk about that.
Okay, cool.
I think Aurelia needs some sort of understanding. I think she doesn't want to be open with anybody right now because of the fact that she's not trying to be invested. She saw what getting invested did. She's also had this air of superiority since she started. And she's trying to go back to it. So maybe the thing is she doesn't know how to open up. But if you do want to know if she's not okay, she is not okay.
I think it's a really big moment, Aurelia. I just want to put some focus on that of like Aurelia internally, at least to some degree, or maybe even Mel recognizing, because this is a moment of Mel piercing the mask. So maybe it's both of you realizing it almost simultaneously. Aurelia through internal introspection and Mel through this moment of scrutiny. It's not just that Aurelia doesn't want to open up. It's exactly as you said, Ollie. Maybe she doesn't know how. It's a fully foreign concept to her.
She's trying to she's trying to keep it foreign.
Well, Mel, anything done with that information gained?
I'm thinking. I know what I want to do, want to say. I'm just trying to figure out how to say it.
Valid.
You know, for a minute there, I thought we were back on the docks.
I'm not making a face of disgust because of that. Wait, how? Yeah, because of that, but like not because of that, but like because of that. I'm like, how is Aurelia gonna deal with emotion? Damn, she's being vulnerable. Fuck, she doesn't do that often.
Oh shit.
And I
think
thought that I was gonna lose you too.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Goddamn. That's not fair. It's reasonable to be worried. But I assure you, I always have a different outcome.
It's okay to say when you're not okay, Aurelia.
I see the growth in you when it comes to that. Yeah, that's her. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can see your eyes flickering, so I know you're tired.
I think it would be best if I had some time to rest.
That's important.
Would y'all hate if I left things there for the evening?
I think that's a nice spot.
Letting Aurelia rest.
Well, as our heroes contemplate rest after a long, complicated, dare I say, fight, the camera turns itself, the page turns itself, as it were, to another panel elsewhere in New Jump City, it would seem. A figure sits at a desk, turns and looking out towards the high horizon as the building she is in sits so high above all of New Jump City. And outside of the window, set against the horizon, almost level with the window of her head office, Trina Victory watches the clouds part and a large floating island she hasn't seen in almost 2 decades reappear where she never thought she would see it. She stands up, folds both hands behind her back. It's like that, then. So be it. And with that, we draw tonight's episode to a close. I want to thank you all for showing up to another wonderful episode of Jump City Sirens. What an episode it ended up being, gang. Always glad to have a good time here, duking it out and blowing up bad guys with my friends here. I can tell you all about how great they are, but I'll let them sign off for themselves so we can save ourselves some energy and me yapping for this evening. So, friends, in the order that I call you out, please, of course, tell me who you are, who you play tonight, where you can be found on the internet, and maybe one or two other cool things you've got coming up on the agenda lately. Let's start with the one and only Ollie Peach Senpai.
I'm Ollie Peach Senpai. I played Aurelia, Morphine. I exploded.
You did do that. That did happen. You got better, though.
I came back. You know, life is just a box of explosions.
You heard it here first, gang. Put it on a shirt. Anything more, Boo? What you got coming up lately? Anything cool happening in the Ollie world?
Oh shit, I just remembered. I'm trying to schedule like a 24-hour stream for my birthday on the 27th. Yeah, so that if y'all want to come join me, it's my first 24-hour stream. It's also my first birthday ever.
There, look. You gotta be there. It's a momentous
So
occasion.
young and so radiant.
I mean, she did like just get to this realm a little bit ago, so it makes sense, you know?
Yeah, so I think y'all should be there. Thanks.
You better be there. This is a threat.
Oh.
Ollie Relia's first birthday.
Exactly. Threatening aside, we'll all look forward to seeing you there as we pass the camera sliding on across to Meg Mysteria.
Hello, I am Meg Andor Meg Mysteria, and, you know, local elegant cutie / strongly gamer boy. You can find me on Twitch, on Twitter, on Itch, and Blue Sky as Meg Mysteria. As far as what I've got coming up, you can find me this weekend on Singularity Roleplay in Fragments of Tomorrow Apocalypse, our City of Mist campaign. And then you'll see me right here again in 2 weeks when we have our next episode of this and we find out why Katrina doesn't like Domina, other than, you know, the obvious. She doesn't like sharing power.
She's also a villain, so like that, you know.
Yeah, well,
like
you
there
know.
are some valid reasons for them not to get along.
Okay,
I'm just
but like,
saying.
you know, the beef sounded personal, so...
Maybe it is. Maybe there's lore to find out, but spoilers aside, let's pass it on over to the last and certainly very far from least. It's, of course, the one and only, Neon Light's mostly exclusive, Egg-chan.
Hi, I'm Emily or Egg-chan, and you can find me on the internet as Egg-chan, mostly on Itch and Twitch. I had the joy of playing number 5, and you can see me here on Saturday for Beacon Time, and on Sunday for the premiere of a Mech Warrior Destiny Time. So, lots of me this weekend.
Aren't we all so
You're
lucky for
in
it?
need of some protein. More eggs.
I love it. I could use more egg in my diet, my doctor says.
Hell yeah.
And of course, last, and then we swing things back over to me, gang. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. I had the pleasure of being your editor for the evening and running everyone that wasn't these lovely people around here, mostly Domina and her army for most of the episode. If you want to keep me on the internet, I'm Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXII, occasionally with an underscore in the middle. And the next place you're going to see me as well, funnily enough, what I already said to you is I'm going to be right here also on Saturday for the episode of Knights of New Avalon. And if you thought that one little bit of Foxy wasn't, Foxy and Egg, I suppose, and some others, wasn't enough for the evening, then come right back again for Sunday's premiere episode of Blood and Currency. Another return to the Inner Sphere with a Mech Warrior Destiny miniseries where a gang of mercenaries are going to go thrown in the fucking ringer. Again. But with new mercenaries this time. It's going to be great, gang. And it's going to be fun. We're going to see people with Battletech. You know I love some fucking Battletech. Come hang out with us if you got some fair time. But that aside, you'll of course see me come back. Yeah, it's true. Fuck those guys. Other than that, you'll see me back here for some more other things that I do, including, of course, Steel and Arbor, I Love the Humble Wood campaign, and also this lovely show again here back in 2 weeks, like Meg just said. It's been awesome, gang, and you have been incredible. Remember to fight the good fight and let no one tell you the kind of hero that you are. We will see you back here in 2 weeks. This has been Jump City Sirens. We've been Neolites Roleplay, and you have all been incredible. Have a good night, Bibs.